Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you've chosen to join me today for another lesson from the Bible. My name is Damian Barber. I'm the minister at the Dean Road Church of Christ. Today we're going to be in 1 John chapter 2. Last week we saw how we have an advocate with the Father in Jesus Christ. We saw the great love that was shown to us by Jesus taking on our punishment. We also saw how we should return our love to Christ by walking as He walked and following His commands. Today's lesson is going to be on who do you love. We're going to see who the Bible tells us we are to love. So let's jump right on in to 1 John chapter 2. I'm going to read verses 7 through 11. Beloved, I am writing to you no new commandment, but an old commandment that you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word that you have heard. At the same time, it is a new commandment that I am writing to you, which is true in Him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. Whoever says he is in the light and hates his brother is still in darkness. Whoever loves his brother abides in the light, and in him there is no cause for stumbling. But whoever hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes. Now John says this is an old commandment, but in a new way it is also a new commandment. It is an old commandment in that God always called His children to love Him and to love their neighbors. Since the dawn of time, God has commanded this, and the 10 Commandments fell to how we love God and how we love our neighbor. They were all wrapped up in those 2 commandments. It is a new commandment, however, because Jesus shed new light on this commandment in the life that He lived and how He sacrificed Himself for us. In John 13:34 through 35, Jesus said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." This command was new in the sense that the disciples were now called to show love, not just as they loved themselves, but to the extent that Jesus showed love to us, dying on that cross for our sins, putting our own needs ahead of His own life. It is no coincidence that this command to love our brother comes almost directly after a discussion on Christ being our propitiation, as we saw last week. Christ's sacrifice sheds new light on how we are to love our brothers. We cannot be in God's light if we hate our brother. If we have hatred for our brother, then we are in spiritual darkness. How many times have you tried to walk in your house at night and you wound up stubbing your toe on some furniture? Or as a parent, stepped on some of your kids' toys? Or something else because you couldn't see what was there properly as you could in the light. And this isn't even in complete darkness. We went to the Florida caverns a couple times, and when we got down into the depths of the cavern, they turned out the lights for a few moments, and we were in complete darkness. You couldn't see your hand right in front of your face. In this situation, we could not get around at all without bumping into things and potentially finding ourselves in a very dangerous situation that we were unaware of. And if we do not love our brother, then similarly, we are in a spiritual darkness and we cannot see the way that we are to go, spiritually speaking. And we will cause harm to ourselves spiritually. We will walk around lost and unable to find our way to God. The most important thing to do to be spiritually right with God is to purge any hatred towards our brethren from our hearts and to grow in our love for all. Jesus equated having hatred in our hearts to committing murder. And He said that if one is preparing to worship God and realizes that he has something against his brother, it is so important to reconcile that he resolve things with the brother first before offering his sacrifice. In Hebrews 12:15, it warns us, see to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. If we want to be spiritually right with God and walk in His light, we need to love our brother as Jesus loved us. And by that, men will know that we are His disciples. And so it is very important that we love all people and show that love to one another through our deeds, and that we love God because God first loved us and showed us how to love, showed His great love to us through Jesus Christ dying for our sins. I hope you've gotten something from this video. I challenge you to show love to others better day by day, even those who don't show love back towards you. Show love and kindness towards them, and to be quick to forgive and slow to become angry, and to try to be like Christ in the way that we show love to others. As always, I hope you have a great week, and God bless you.